It is so very beautiful to be in such natural surroundings with you all. In the hubbub of the city, you don't find this peace, and it's very good for all those who are seeking their asset. You asked me to come for this Ganesh Puja. I thought it was essential that Sri Ganesha should be established. And I am so very happy that there are so many Americans now who are Sahajogis. Of course, compared to the population of America, they are very few, and we have to have many more. But there are basic problems, and one of them I think is of Sri Ganesh. And that's why it was necessary to have the Sri Ganesha's Puja in Los Angeles, or you may call whichever places. This one is San Diego, or on this mountain, which I hope so will be able to establish that essence of innocence which is so much in the sleeping state. Today I just wanted to tell you a few things as to how we should deal with the people who come around. The idea that we should deal with the seekers who are coming to see us is that we should try to be little apologetic and to tell them about our chakras, give them a feedback as they call it, on the mental level. But I do not think that's a very good start. You have to first give them the experience of realization and tell them that this is not any gurudom or any such false hocus pocus as they call it, nonsense here, but is the evolutionary process, which is a natural, progressive manifestation of the power within us. And you have to tell about me. We have tried not to talk about me, and we have tried to avoid the topic. Perhaps because we think that there have been gurus and this and that, and the gurus have brought a bad name. It's not so. Even now, people are going to those gurus in very large number, and they start claiming they are semi-gods, demi-gods, or gods, or whatever it is. So this kind of apologetic attitude will not convince them. You have to give them experience and say that this is the one whose grace has worked on you. Psychologically, you'll be amazed. It always works the other way around. Supposing tomorrow you arrange my program in San Diego, we can easily get 300 people. But when you want to have a follow-on, they don't want to come. Or when you have workshop, if I am there, there are so many, and then they are not interested in seeing. So the reason for such a behavior is only one, that they don't want to go through all that mental occupation and mental acrobats that you want to tell them. As they want to feel me in a meeting, they want to feel me through you people. And I think you must change your tactics. In a simple, natural way, tell them that we were seekers, went to many gurus, we never found it. We were cheated. Here is somebody who doesn't take any money, doesn't want anything, doesn't make you abnormal, will lead a very normal life and gives you all kinds of blessings. Try it. If you don't want to experience it, you will not. You see, it is like a person who is not a realized soul. He says, I must fight my ego. But with what do you fight? It's your own ego. So you add to your ego. In the same way, when you go on pampering these people, you add to their ego. And they become hard-boiled eggs, actually. Impossible to penetrate. So your devotion, dedication to me will prove the results. No way out. If you talk to them directly, they won't listen to you. That's human nature. You can't help it. How do I explain? That when I come and give a lecture, in any place, there are so many, because they think I am authentic. I speak with authority, not with aggressiveness, but with conviction and with a character. That conviction has to be expressed. On the contrary, when you start telling them there is a chakra, this thing, that thing, it's alright, we can read a book. Why do we need these headaches? So you should be people of conviction, not of falsehood, but of reality. I must say today, because you are all here, we have got some very good surgeries from India for you. But I don't know how far you listen to them. Like we have got Mr. Khade. He is the man who started Sangamner. And those who have been to Sangamner have seen that a complete big gymnasium, like a huge big football area, was covered by the people who came down in Sangamner. And he really established this Sangamner city into a beautiful center. But you have to listen to him. Otherwise they are useless. Secondly, Sharayu Gadkari is a very good surgeon. Apart from anything, she is very auspicious, knowledgeable. Knowledge of Sahaja Yoga is not the way you understand. It's not the knowledge of chakras. It's the knowledge of attitudes. It's not the knowledge of any system. We don't want to have systems. Because every system creates a bondage, a kind of a slavery. We have to develop attitudes within us. Which attitudes? are tried and tested on experience. So it is not what you can talk elaborately about chakras and things is important. But it is what you express your personality in your attitudes toward things. All kinds of systems are built up, and especially in the West is a common habit to form a system. Some sort of a norm is to be formed. For example, a system will be picked up, we eat our food like this. Alright, then everybody starts eating the same. Or they picked up a system long time back, say have tailcoats for dinners. For dinner you must change your dress, morning another dress. Then people got fed up with it. They said this is not good. So they started agriculture. So the agriculture started, with that they started hippies. Hippies also had their system. To be a hippie you had to wear a dress like that, you had to be dirty, you had to have hair like that, you had to move in a particular fashion. Again another system was built in. When they broke that system, then another, now a punk system has come. Now that punk business is you have to have a dress like this, you have to have a particular type of a hairdress for which you have to spend so much money. Otherwise you are not a punk. So when they try to break also any systems, they fall into another system. And go on following systems and systems from one dead to another dead. But the attitude is the same. Attitude doesn't change. I have seen the hippies when they became anti-culture, they started behaving in such a funny manner that there was no change at all. They became very arrogant, without any self-respect. Then came these punks. They are just the same. So the change in your attitude is the main transformation that takes place. Your priorities change absolutely. So we should not form a system. As I told you last night, we should not say that 8 hours meditation. Nothing of the kind. 8 minutes are sufficient. It's the attitude that is going to help your growth. Not you are sitting for 8 hours on one leg or something like that. There are some sadhus who just stand up and put one leg like this and they say you are sitting on one leg. That's not going to help. It's a living process. And a living process has to be worked out in a living way. Allow it to work out. Allow it to grow. So the whole attitude should be changed. But when you start finding your attitude towards life is changing, then you must say, who wants to get his realization, you better do it. I think we have not yet touched those shores where there are real seekers of wisdom. That's why we are getting very, very few people. Like when the fishermen are taking their trawlers on the waves of the seas. They know where there are shoals of fishes. And they direct their trawlers to those places and catch fishes. In the same way, we must also, first of all, find out where are those seekers, where we can direct our attention and our efforts. Like in you see, you will get right type of people. In Calcutta, when I went there's one Mr. Jala, was a very wise businessman. He came to Sahaja. He sent letters to all the eminent people whom he thought would be seeking. And he said he would like to go and meet them, or they can come and see him. Out of all these letters, there were a few people, of course, who answered and wanted to meet. That's how we met some very important. Then he told them what is Sahaja Yoga, talk to them. And when I went there, he made me meet them. One of them was an editor of a big newspaper who came to see me, and he saw me how I was treating people and how I was looking after them, and he wrote a beautiful article. And he said, "Mother, tomorrow I'll come to the program." He came, he gave a very beautiful introduction, and the whole thing started on a different line. I can tell you about Italy. There's one lady called Ganesh. She went and saw somebody whom she thought was a singer. And he is a director in the broadcasting in Italy, the government broadcasting. And he's a television man. She took me, she told him that you can get your realization. When I went and saw him, he said, "First give me realization, then I'll take your interview." I said, "He's the man." And I paid all my attention to him. I gave him realization. Also, he had some experiences. And then he just wholeheartedly came out as a big Sahaja Yogi. And now in Italy, Sahaja Yoga is spreading very fast. So you should not go about picking up some beggars on the street, "Please come to Sahaja Yoga, please come to Sahaja Yoga." What are they going to do? They are just liabilities. What are they going to help us? I am not saying that we should go after rich people or people who are effeminates, but people who are already recognized by public as something sensible, wise, whom you think have good vibrations and are capable of doing something in Sahaja Yoga. I think you should approach boldly and tell them that you have found out this and this. If you approach 10 people, you will find at least 3 of them will be happy. That's a much better way of doing things than to catch hold of one person here and a one person there and a one person there. They'll come to you. I was surprised they told me that there were lots of people who came, one by one all disappeared. One fellow was taught the complete Kundalini Yoga for 8 months and he also disappeared. He never had the experience. Once you establish them up to a point where they start feeling the vibrations and feeling the joy, they'll never be outside. But you must also weigh a person, how deep he is. So the whole attitude towards spreading Sahaja Yoga should be that it is not a thing that to be thrown away before people who do not understand. I know you feel very much for Americans, I too feel the same way. And we wish we had more and more American people coming to Sahaja Yoga, no doubt. But it is only in our hand to work hard. We can't say what we'll achieve. We must also understand what are the problems of the American people. What sort of things that are obstructing them from coming to Sahaja Yoga. So perhaps maybe tomorrow I'll be able to tell you what I have understood about them. Then you keep that in your mind. And with that, if you approach with a proper attitude of self-confidence, then I'm sure you can do very well. But there should be self-confidence. That doesn't mean that you should aggress, but there should be a self-confidence. If you have to do something right, you have to be yourself fully confident of it. Otherwise nobody is going to believe. We want to get some more Sahaja Yogis from India to help you out. But first of all, those who are here, I think you must try to listen to them. Instead of that, it's told me that you teach them. I'm not saying that Indians are all very good, that they are very capable. One thing is that they have been with me for days together. Apart from that, all Indians are not good than all the Americans, but some of them are very good. And those who are very good must be respected. And try to understand the attitude of such people, what they have to tell. The way you understand life is not correct. If it was correct, there would have been a different America. Lots of mistakes have been made. And to get to new life and to new styles, a new understanding of the new age, we have to understand that it is a new knowledge for us and we have to learn it and understand it. So far we have had no knowledge about living processes. Whatever knowledge we have had is of dead, like you can make a house out of a dead tree, from dead to the dead. But living processes you have never understood. So the whole working of saintliness is nothing but your attitude towards knowledge, how the living process of our evolution works out, and complete confidence in your knowledge. I am sure you will pay full attention to what I have said it. Also tomorrow you can ask me questions about it. But in this short time I cannot tell you everything elaborately. But I hope you understand that a new type of attitude is to be taken and if you have to achieve that vision. May God bless you. Now whatever you say, I'll sit there.